What was the first thing you worked for to save up enough money to buy? Worked 2 jobs and sold plasma while in college a few years ago to take my then girlfriend and myself to Europe. Neither of us had ever really traveled before, and she was always worried she'd get stuck and never get a chance to see the world. Thought bringing her along was a huge waste of money for the longest time after we broke up, but she died recently and I found out she kept a box of mementos from our trip. In hindsight, I think that was probably the best money I ever spent. This comment isn't high up, but that was a great thing you did. I'd like to do the same thing for my girlfriend. Regardless of the outcome of the relationship, it's very special that she kept the memories. That's something, ain't it? You gifted her something that she cherished her whole life. Now, that's a gift. An original Game Boy. I cut lawns for a summer to save up for it. Excellent. In '84, age 14, I worked 5 to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday in our local video shop for a year to buy a Sony Walkman WM22. I still have it. Finding it in a box in the loft this morning prompted my question. I did the same for a Game Boy Color when they came out. Was so proud to dump all my hard-earned money on the counter, haha. Shortly after, I set it down on a table at my mom's office while I went to the bathroom. When I came back, it was gone. One of her co-workers stole it. Never found out who it was, never got it back. A trumpet. Professional brand silver trumpet. I wish I still had it, but it was stolen. Boxstrad? Same. Silver trumpet professional with 3 mouthpieces from Yamaha. Won several solo concerts with it. Sold it when I joined the army. A 1979 Gibson Les Paul custom guitar. I paid $400 for it in 1987 and sold it for $500 a few years later after I bought a Fender which was more my style. Wish I never sold it. It would be worth over $3,500 today, easy. You got paid $100 to have a nice guitar for a few years. Nice, easy to regret stuff, but sounds like a win when Terry's no way to know the future anyway. If it makes you feel better, $500 cash invested in 1987 with a reasonable annual return of 8% would be worth more, around $4,700. Renting my first apartment rather than sharing. Fuck relying on people for a living situation. Must have felt nice to have full control of when the dishes are done. A hamster. Not just the hamster, as those costed like $7, but the cage, the plastic hamster ball thing, the bedding, the treats, the works. I named him Sam. He lived to be almost 5 years old and he was the best. My mom helped me figure out how much money food costs, and I made sure I had enough money saved at the time of buying him, to be able to get him food for at least a whole year. My mom didn't think he'd stay alive longer than that. Wow. Sam lived a long and happy life. He might have been with you for a small part of your life, but for him you were his whole life, heart. A TV for my bedroom. I wanted one when I was 13, and my parents said that was fine as long as I paid for it myself, so I got a job picking strawberries at a local farm. Yes, I got my TV, but I was so sick of the sight and smell of strawberries that it was at least a year before I could even think about eating them again. I lasted about 2 hours. Made about 25 cents. When we were 16 to 17, 5 to 6 of us would go pick berries for the day, usually raspberries, and pool all our money and buy some cases of beer and a big bottle of vodka. A transistor radio, 1972. Mine was a Sony Walkman in 1984. I found it in a box in the loft this morning. Was it a kit or a beautiful off-the-shelf radio? My very first car. It was in 1998, I was 19 years old when I bought it. A 1987 Chevy Camaro. It needed some work, it looked like shit, but I loved that car. My friends liked it as well. My sister's friends all told me it was garbage, but their parents bought them newer cars that they didn't appreciate. I was the same way with my first car I bought in 1985 at age 16. It was a 1978 Chevy Chevette, and not the best looking thing, but it ran and got me my independence. A lot of other kids my age were having new cars bought for them, but they didn't appreciate them the same. Was nice to know, parked in school parking lot, that I in fact owned the title to my car, not my parents. Black 87Z28WT tops was my first buy in 2001 after working all summer and saving up my money. No AC, tops leaked, but damn if I didn't love that car. Driver Z. My father refused to pay for it, wouldn't allow me to take it till I had saved enough money to pay for it myself. I got caught in a vicious circle of, well, I need a job to save up for a car and driver's ed, but I can't get a job without a car or a license. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.